Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Who Are They Real Talk. No big, excited, elaborate intro today. Just we're doing the show today. We're just gonna try to have fun talking news and goofing around a bit because, as anyone who watches the show knows, that's kind of what we do. But we struggled today trying to figure out if, with everything that's going on in the world, if we should even do a show. So we talked and we decided we'll do one. We wanted to save our interview we had lined up, Keith Collins, for next week, which also works out because we'll be about a week away from the release of his film. But everyone thought it would be a good idea if Chris and I let off the show just talking and about the things that are going on and how we feel, because we're the two people of color on the show. So I'm going to bring Chris in right now. Chris, bud, how are you doing?
It could be better, man. Could be better.
Yeah, I'm right with you there. Everything's hitting a little close to home today.
Yeah.
We had the protest that evolved into riots in Cleveland. So I knew people who were down there. I talked to a few of them, I've checked on them, see how they're doing. So we got that going on. But with everything that's going on in the world today, I felt we should do the show to just try to give everyone a little bit of something else to watch and go for. So
exactly. Like, this isn't something that we're doing to make you forget or to distract or to ignore you from what's going on. Please be aware of what's going on. And if you have nothing to say or you have no words, then just listen, really. Listen to what other people have to say. Because I feel like that's where everything's getting, a lot of things are getting miscommunicated. So just listen and we're going to be all right. And we're doing it today just because, like you said, we want to put out something. And if people want to watch it, then cool. If they don't, all right. But we're here. Something we obviously like doing. We made a promise to everyone that we'd be on every Sunday night if we can. Mm-hmm. And here we are. So I don't want to drag this out any longer because I'm pretty sure everyone's seeing it constantly on their Facebook feeds, all over the news, whatever social media you're using. But the protests and everything else is going on right now. Like, it speaks volumes. Like, the protests and the actions definitely carry the message that we're trying to convey. It's just that don't forget where all this is coming from. Don't forget why people are doing this. Yeah. Like, it isn't something that, like, yeah, people are going to loot just to loot. No, let's not forget why we're doing it, because that's what's important, and that's what's going to be that's going to be what changes, or hopefully what changes going forward.
Yeah.
So just be excellent to each other, y'all. Just be excellent and listen, excellent. Please.
To quote from Bill and Ted, everyone needs to be excellent to everyone.
Exactly.
All right. So bringing in now, we have the one and the only Nicholas Mulbach.
Hey, everybody.
We have the amazing director Connor Breedlove. And we have Mr. Taylor L. Cleek.
Good evening, my excellent friends.
What's the L in L Cleek stand for?
Lee.
Taylor Lee Cleek.
Yeah,
I knew that.
Weirdly, TLC. Little TLC for you, baby.
So TLC. That's what I'm talking about.
So you're like the Taylor Lee that Ted was warning us about when it came to the Slutty Girls in the first Ted movie.
Sure, dude.
So all goes full circle. I didn't even mean to do that. Oh my god. And I've always been jealous of Connor's name. That's a kick-ass name. Connor Breedlove? Come on. Kick-ass name.
His name does sound like a cool pseudonym, yeah.
Right.
1,000%.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, like we said, we're going to try to have some fun today. We're going to talk the latest movie news, give our thoughts on it, and just try to keep things a little bit lighthearted. So starting off, I know this is something that excited all of us when we first saw it drop this week, but looks like our boy Henry Cavill is coming back as Superman. It might not be his own film, but it looks like it's going to be like the Hulk. And the MCU. It looks like he's going to be the new Hulk because, of course, they can't figure out what to do with Superman. So I'm going to start off with Connor because I know he has some thoughts on this. Connor, how you feeling about all this?
I hope he gets his own movie, his own sequel. I think using him as the Hulk is stupid. He's Superman. Right? I mean, like, him and Batman are kind of the pinnacle of DC Comics. So why would you use one as like what the Hulk is in the MCU? Just like a secondary character in other movies. Doesn't really make any sense. I'm glad Henry is coming back. I just hope he gets his sequel, and I hope he actually has standalone films rather than just being a secondary character in other movies.
No, I actually kind of agree with you there. Like, to me, having Superman as the secondary character is almost like a cop-out because you're like,
yeah,
well, he's Superman. Literally, he can beat that guy by himself as long as they don't have kryptonite.
Just make a good Superman movie.
Besides Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is okay.
Yes.
It's okay. You can make a good Superman movie, though.
Yes.
He's Superman. It's not hard. It shouldn't be hard to make a good Superman movie.
Taylor, let's go to you next. Taylor, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I kind of echo that sentiment. I mean, first of all, I'm glad if he's coming back, I'm glad that he's coming back because, while the movies he's in have never done a ton for me, it's not for any lack of trying on his part. I think Christopher Reeve, like the benchmark and the standard we set that character at, I think Henry Cavill has potential to at least meet it, if not go above it, and at least to define that character for his own performance, to make it distinctly his own. I do think it's silly to make him a secondary character because my understanding on the Hulk thing was that also had a lot to do with weird contractual things with Universal.
Exactly.
Warner Brothers doesn't have that issue. If they're like, well, I don't know, bringing him back will make our cinematic universe confusing. It's like I would say having him cameo in movies makes it even more confusing. And there's really no reason you can't make a good Superman movie. I know the Zack Snyder ones didn't resonate that well with a lot of people, so let's see Henry Cavill be directed by someone who's not Zack Snyder and see how that plays out. You know what I mean? Get someone else, get someone with a different style in there. I've been saying for a long time, I think Brad Bird would make a killer Superman movie. You know, just
See,
Yeah,
I've been on the personally, I've been on the Matthew Vaughn train, but it looks like he's so caught up in developing this Kingsman cinematic universe that's never going to happen.
I've never thought of Brad Bird, but that's a brilliant pull.
That's a great choice.
But
good.
Even though these reports have now been or rumors have now been debunked, there was rumors right after that this was happening that J.J. Abrams was looking into doing the next Superman movie, but because he's got that big contract with Warner Brothers and he can play in any sandbox they have. So
I'm going to see J.J. do stuff that hasn't been done before rather than revisit old properties.
I'd agree. Yeah, I think it plays more to his strengths is coming up with his own thing than trying to figure out somebody else's.
Yep.
Oh, without a doubt. All right, Nick, how about you? What are your thoughts on the whole Cavill situation?
I mean, Superman has never been my number one superhero, but I get it. I think that the look of Batman versus Superman was a lot better than the look of Man of Steel, but I didn't hate Man of Steel totally. I get that this is probably due to his scheduling with Witcher, that maybe they can't, but I do think that they have no clue what to do with Superman. But it doesn't make any sense to me that Superman can't be made into a good movie. And like I said, like everybody's saying, I think that if Henry Cavill's coming back for it, that's already a plus. He seems to be almost out of everybody. I would say Momoa represents his character the most just because I feel like it's Jason Momoa playing another character. But I feel as though Henry Cavill cares about Superman the most out of everybody in the DCEU, by all of his posts on Instagram where he shares with his action figures of the superhero and stuff like that. So I'm really happy that he gets to continue to be the character, even with those rumors that he was going to go away. So I'm with everybody else. Make a good standalone Superman movie, maybe bring Brainiac into it or something like that. Something we haven't seen before per se in the live action movies.
All right, Chris. Last but not least, you.
Superman is one of the most recognizable superheroes on the face of the earth. There was a point where he was the most recognizable superhero, most beloved superhero on the face of the planet. I do not understand how the hell you could drop the ball with Superman. It's the most generic. You can make the most generic plot, and you don't have to have any type of layer at all. Like, you can arguably say Zack Snyder tried to make it too deep with Man of Steel. I think I might be the only person in this panel that loves Man of Steel. But how in the hell haven't we gotten a sequel yet? A proper sequel? I don't understand how we can have guys like Brandon Routh reprise the character with no type of big deal. It's not we had Tom Welling. Yeah, Tom Welling come back before we had another Henry Cavill appearance post Justice League. The monstrosity that was that
Ralph
movie.
come back.
And Brandon Routh is a great Superman too. But we had so many running at one time, and Henry Cavill's is probably the most popular, the most beloved. People like his interpretation of the character. He may not be Christopher Reeve, but he's damn good in my opinion. And we're going to just force him into other people's movies. That's the idea. And Taylor, you brought up The Witcher. I guarantee they've been talking before The Witcher is even in production about the future of Superman, and they were closing the door, recasting him. There were those Michael B. Jordan rumors forever ago about Black Superman, and everybody lost their mind. But I don't understand this. Why force him into movies he doesn't belong in? Let Shazam, Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman have their movies, and just give Superman a proper sequel. Make Man of Steel 2 Steel. I don't care. I really just give me more Henry Cavill, and it shouldn't be in other people's movies, please. Like, come on, man. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Superman's all right.
I mean, I think it's a way to keep him in the public conscious while they try to figure those things out.
And they didn't know how much people liked him until The Witcher. That's what it was. Because The Witcher came out, and everyone's like, hey, yo, that Henry Cavill guy, he's good. And we like him.
There was that build-up around Shazam when the news broke that he may no longer be playing Superman, and then there was a public outrage about, what do you mean he may no longer be playing Superman? You haven't even given him a good Superman role to play yet, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, the public's not wrong, but...
Do you guys think between Snyder Cut existing, this now being rumored, and them also apparently rumored more Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn stuff, do you think there is an avenue for them to just like jump right back into the same cinematic universe it seemed like they were leaving?
For Henry Cavill, yes. For Ben Affleck,
No, Ben Affleck's done.
yeah, Ben Affleck's done, and there have been reports about that the last couple days.
I feel like that the Batman movie is going to be like, because they said it's going to be based in like the 90s, right?
Yeah.
That's the rumor. Yeah.
Like reboot type thing where
it's not even connected to this universe. You can't say it's connected.
I don't know that. We don't know that. I think they might try to set that up as a prequel and set him up as a new Batman in the Justice League in the DCU going forward, and hope that nobody notices. I feel like WB will do that kind of shit. I mean,
you can get away with it for sure.
Snyder we'll probably be talking about the Ayer Cut later. Like, we will probably do that shit where they'll like, this is your new Batman. We're gonna put him into the Justice League with these other characters that were with this other Batman. We hope you don't notice. If you do, tough luck. It's the new Batman.
See,
they're probably gonna pull that stuff.
I think it's a yes and no situation, because with two castings alone, or one casting alone, you change that perception, because you cast Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Jeffrey Wright ain't J.K. Simmons. So,
okay, right.
So what I do think you're right that it eventually will be, because we still got this Flash movie that's supposed to happen.
But didn't the director say that he wants to make like 3 of them? Yeah,
Reeves said he wants to make 3 of them. Yeah.
Okay, they're not going to do another solo trilogy of Batman. I don't think they're going to do that.
No, and that's where the point I'm getting to, where we have Flash coming, and one of the most, and Chris can attest to this, one of the most famous storylines in the Flash series is Flashpoint. Exactly.
So they're going to use Flash. I think that was the understanding since the beginning when they announced that Flash was going to be Flashpoint, is that they were going to try to correct the DCU.
We don't know if it's going to be Flashpoint anymore. It's only rumored now. But before, when it was the directors of Game Night, they're like, yeah, it's going to be Flashpoint.
It's going to be Flashpoint no matter what.
I hope so.
No matter what they say, it's going to be Flashpoint. There's no way they're not going to use Flashpoint to correct their mistakes.
Although to that point, I don't know how hard Barry Allen has to mess with the timeline that Commissioner Gordon will go from looking like J.K. Simmons to Jeffrey Wright. I don't know what he did when he went back there, but it was weird.
I mean, it's not James Gordon is not like that's like saying John Smith. It's not like it's an uncommon name.
No, but it just physically transforms so much. As will Bruce Wayne. As will Bruce Wayne.
Wait. In Flashpoint in the Arrowverse, and Chris over there can attest to it, John Diggle went from having a daughter to having a son.
Science.
Wow, Barry. What a mess.
Yeah, Barry's crazy. I mean, a woman outside in a Icelandic. So, I mean, I think he can change the race of someone.
All right, here's a theory for everybody.
He can change the race.
Somehow, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is in that Batman movie. And this is, I'm going to come full circle. DCEU is going to be in the Batman.
Fuego.
He'll grow up to become, or he'll die. Robin will become the new Joker. Jared Leto's Joker is Robin confirmed. Boom.
Wait.
That conspiracy theory is don't bring it back.
I know.
I didn't like anything you just said.
But
I'm kidding.
There
That's
is
a string of bad ideas.
There is weird precedent. They tried to do this. Back during the Nolan stuff, they tried to famously set up a Justice League movie with George Miller. It was going to have nothing to do with Nolan stuff.
Which we will be doing on Who Are They? Table reads.
Yeah.
Right here.
And they were going to have Armie Hammer play Batman. So they tried to do something like this before, and Nolan was like, can you not, though? Like, I've got this whole Batman thing I'm doing, and that's pretty much all that took for them to unplug it. But they tried to do this before, so they might try again.
Get to the point where he might have the same kind of cachet to pull it off, because his movies have just been fantastic. Like
Flashpoint is the ultimate cop-out. You can change whatever the hell you want with the storyline, and it will still be somehow connected to the comic book one. And Matt, you said it's one of the biggest Flash storylines. It's one of the biggest DC comic book storylines ever. Right. Like, Flashpoint is the jam, and the CW somehow found a way to screw it up. But
he's not lying. They made it last a single episode.
It was one episode. It should have been the whole season. Right. But I think that if this movie gets made, and who knows if Ezra Miller might even be that Flash by that point, even though
we need a real life Flashpoint.
We might be the only people talking about it. Like, we might be the only one. We're gonna be the ones that bring it back up when everything's over and done with. But
every episode.
Yeah, I honestly think that if this Flash movie gets made, DC can do whatever the hell they want. They can bring the Batman universe into this Henry Cavill, Superman, Jason Momoa, Aquaman, and it seems seamless. Mm-hmm. But that's risky biscuits, because then is that what Matt Reeves signed up to do? Did he sign up for a action-packed Batman movie? Because it doesn't sound like it. That's definitely not the vibe that we're getting with these movies, especially from the stills, from the little teaser.
Paul Dano came out this week and talked about it. He's like, it's this very noir style thinking man's Batman.
It's not what we've already established, and it's not going to fit well with a world with a Superman or with a man that could talk to fish.
And that's exactly why I made that point.
Those are solid, dude. He made Planet of the Apes.
Oscar nominated Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, he's gonna have
Planet of the Apes movies are
really so good. They're great.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
I cried during those movies.
So they're so much better than they have any right to be. You know?
Oh, so much better.
Which one's the second one? War.
The second of his is War.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rise,
Dawn, and then War.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it goes.
Okay,
and that's why everybody's like, Dawn should have come before Rise.
Yeah, the titles are they should be switched. But the second one he made was great. That was it was like perfect. It was the shit. That's the one where I'm like, yo, who is this Matt Reeves guy? And then that's the director that signed up to do Batman. hell yes. Even though the third one is pretty freaking good as well. But man, I don't think it's not gonna crossover. We won't get a crossover. We're gonna have another trilogy of Batman solo films that in Batman's rogues gallery and the characters that they're able to use, they'll have more than enough story to fill them. The problem is we may see, if we do see Henry Cavill, to go back to Henry Cavill for a second, if we see Henry Cavill be Superman, fans are going to expect another Justice League at some point, especially with the Snyder Cut dropping next year. Then it's going to be Superman, Shazam, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and whoever the hell's going to fill the last 2 spots if you do 6. And Batman will not be one of them. At least it won't be Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson.
I think they'll find a way to bring Robert Pattinson into the current fold.
I
I really do.
That perfect vehicle to do so. Go ahead, Taylor.
If they don't do that, at the very least, I mean, if they want to bring him back, you can maybe do the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Bring him into the Matt Reeves Batman and just have your own little weird side universe over there, I guess, they're just perhaps precedent to do that. And then just have Aquaman and Wonder Woman hang out.
They were calling the DC Dark Universe last year around the time.
Oh, no.
DC Dark Universe.
No, it was Justice League, or it was DC something.
It's the Worlds of DC. That's the proper name I think Warner Brothers gave it.
They were DC Dark.
DC Dark was called. So, like I said, I wasn't playing. It was like the DC Dark Universe. And Green Lantern we're supposedly going to get more of him in the Snyder Cut. That'll be interesting to see.
I would love to see a Green Lantern on the big screen, or at least a good one.
There's supposed to be a scene with like the Green Lanterns like appearing in Bruce Wayne's bedroom. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
get more Martian Manhunter.
Nice.
Green Lantern series coming.
Like the Guardians, like from Oa, like they're gonna come down and
the actual like an already established.
You gotta
remember.
You don't do Hal. Do John Stewart.
Snyder filmmaking. You're gonna have an already established like Hal or John. One of the
it should be John.
Both.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that there's like a Detective Chimp scene in the Snyder Cut, dude. Like, like he put every character in that.
Scooby Doo's in this movie,
right?
It's a 4-hour cut. It was originally like 3.5, but he was like, "No, it's 4 hours."
There's gonna be a scene where it's Batman talking to Superman. He's like, "I heard about these twins. They're full of wonder." And it's like, yo, and then that's where the chimp comes in. What's the monkey's name?
Detective Chimp?
No, not Detective Chimp. It's a whole different chimp. Whole different DC
Talking
chimp.
about the
Wonder purple one.
Chimp.
No, it's the purple. The purple. I gotta look this up.
I have the confirmed name for Todd Phillips thing, by the way. It's
Wonder
DC
Pet?
Black.
Super Pets?
DC Black.
That's
Word.
what it was.
Okay.
Black Label or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Black Label, like the Mountain Dew.
Hell yeah.
What's the Wonder Twins monkey name? Oh man.
Grape Ape.
Hey guys,
Grape
Ape.
You feel?
And we got a sponsorship.
His name
It's
is
Gleek.
Wow.
Yes, Gleek.
Gleek fuel.
Zack Snyder's like, I shot an amazing Gleek scene. Too bad you guys will never see it.
Yes, the DC animated films are fantastic. No one here is going to argue that, or no one here who's seen them.
The newest one, Apocalypse War, is pretty good. I haven't watched that yet.
That's what he's talking about right now. My dad, you can ask Nick. My dad's a loyal watcher. We own just about all of them.
Is that on HBO Max?
No, that's probably going to be one of the ones that are on DC Universe while it's still alive.
That one's like brand new.
Yeah,
It's a matter of time.
Just came out like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Just give it a few months, Connor.
Yeah.
DC Universe is not even going to exist.
Yeah. Well, there's already people saying by like November it's gone. I'm like, yeah.
It won't make it to 2021. It won't.
Enjoy those comics while you can.
Well, that's probably what it'll be, right? It'll just become like a comic streaming service, and I would imagine I would expect a price drop if that's.
I mean, it's only $7 a month, $8 a month, so it's
make
not
it $5, and then that'll probably be more doable.
I mean, that's the price of one comic, so it's a pretty good deal.
And if you get them in digital, like I think it makes up for it.
And it's not like they put new issues on; it's like they're archived for you, so you can go back and read old.
Right.
And that's where you can read Flashpoint.
You're gonna have an endless supply of things to read, even if it is like archive stuff. So I say keep it around if they can.
Yeah. All right. Well, we talked about the Snyder Cut, and Connor, easily brought up the Ayer cut, and we know that Nick's probably the biggest proponent of the Ayer cut.
Hey, I'm all for it too.
Yes, I know you're all for it, but yes, the Ayer cut has been something that has been kicked around a lot of this week after the announcement of the Snyder cut, considering it is able to be released by the end of this year. There's not as much work that needs to be done on it. And I called him Zach Ayer. David Ayer.
Zach Ayer.
David Ayer has gone on record saying that.
That's my pseudonym.
Has gone on record saying that, yeah, so Deadpool and then the reaction to Batman versus Superman kind of changed the tone and construction of my film. The film that you were supposed to have gotten was more so like that first trailer where you have that dark, ominous I Started a Joke song playing. I'm like,
love it. I actually listen to that a lot.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of want the more you talk, the more you sell me on it. Granted, I could do without Jared Leto's Joker, but I do want to see what your interpretation of this film is, because what we got was just a 2-hour pop music video that you can just watch whenever. It's not good.
That's the thing, though, is we could get his interpretation of Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, exactly. And
because the first trailer wasn't bad when we saw him enter the room for the first time, and it was like the laugh is fine. I can get over it. I didn't like it per se. I love Joaquin Phoenix's, if we're talking new ones, but I'm saying, like, when we saw him walk in with those electricity things and he was about to do that to her head, I thought it was pretty badass.
And supposedly that's extended. And his cut is extended, and it's much more graphic and violent.
And you get this.
And I'm all for it because I want to like Suicide Squad so badly whenever I watch it. And I'm like, I just can't. I can't like it. I want to like it.
The body won't let me.
So bad. Like, I'll watch it and I'm like, maybe this, X this time, maybe I'll like it. And I just end up, I can't like it. And I want to so badly. And I'm hoping that his cut is the cut and I'll like it.
And the thing with Dead Rats and all.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. I'll send you guys Dead Rats and the hype for the Ayer cut.
No.
Do you guys want to use condoms still, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
No, thank you.
Because I already sent them.
Okay.
I told you not to bring it up on the show.
I'm gonna clone you.
The Ayer cut. The Ayer cut's way more realistic, like you guys already said. It's like a bunch. Yeah, it's like a bunch of.
There's like 2 scenes, special effects.
And the thing that's really interesting, at least to me, all this Ayer cut stuff was an exchange today between David Ayer and I believe her name's Kathy Yan. She did she did Birds of Prey. Yeah, to give context, David Ayer was talking about how he had to reshoot some things to censor certain scenes, and it wasn't what he wanted, at least when he was initially making the film. And he tweeted it in response to somebody. And Kathy Yan retweeted that and said, yeah, David, like, I'm right there with you. That same thing happened to me. Like, I know the feeling. I think that's to paraphrase. And it's interesting because how many times has that happened to directors? Did it happen to James Wan when he did Aquaman? Did it happen to Zack Snyder at any point? Oh, obviously with Justice League, but at any point before that with Bats v Soups or with Man of Steel? And what is Warner Brothers exactly doing with their movies? Because this isn't really enticing as a director. If I'm a director, and DC's like, or Warner Brothers is like, yo, come do the Wonder Twins movie. And I want to make my Wonder Twins movie. But then they're like, yeah, no, you got to reshoot this thing, reshoot certain things, take things out to appease to us. Granted, Marvel does it all the time, but the directors know that going into it. And it's this weird position because he's, at least with Birds of Prey, it was well received. People loved that movie. I really dug it. Like, I liked it.
Well received, but it
was pretty well received by fans and critics. Like, it wasn't Justice League or Man of Steel, but it was still pretty all right. And the fact that Kathy Yan, and she was advocating for this thing when the movie dropped, and it wasn't exactly 100% her vision. Some things were changed, and I wonder if David Ayer. Obviously he knew that when the film was released, but I would love to see his version of this movie where the extended scenes with more Joker, because God forbid we have any more Joker, but I like Jared Leto's Joker too.
Here's the thing. I believe that it happened to Kathy Yan and David Ayer and Zack Snyder I don't think it ever happened to James Wan. James Wan is, by definition, like a studio director. He can play by the rules and deliver the product that the studio wants. Cathy Yan directed a movie called Dead Pigs. David Ayer makes like gritty, like street violence, like just like very violent R-rated movies. And Zack Snyder,
he did that cop movie, right?
It was Fury, Copland,
End of Watch. He does
End of Watch. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
And Zack Snyder kind of does what he wants. He has a specific vision, and it's probably not usually family friendly. It's usually like an R-rated, like it's usually a deeper meaning. There's usually sex and nudity and like kind of more extreme violence than what we see in a superhero movie.
Yep.
So I believe that's what happened with them. They're more auteur filmmakers, and they were probably limited to what they could do, and they were probably censored or told what they can or cannot do in those films. James Wan, I don't think that ever happened with him, because before this, he did Furious 7.
Yeah.
He did a movie that the studio wanted. He delivered that and made $1 billion.
See, but that's the kind of
studio wants, and he can make it.
See, James Wan is that kind of director who he plays along with the studio because he knows. He's like, if I scratch their back, they'll scratch mine.
Yeah.
I just gave them these 2 big hits on small ass budgets in the Conjuring films, so they're gonna let me do what I want here. And I did, and I provided what some argue is the most emotionally depth of the Fast films. I would say it's 5 or 6 personally, but that's just me. And
7's still good.
No, 7's still good, but it's how he handled Paul Walker's death. That people are like, okay, he can do more than just horror. So, and I did pull up the David Ayer tweet that you were talking about, Chris. It was somebody tweeted at us, "Tell us a story here in Mr. David Ayer movies," and it's a picture, 2 pictures of the Joker. He's like, this, and it was the
scene we were talking about earlier from the trailer.
Yep, the scene we're talking about from the trailer. And he said this was reshot because the tone was too dark. My first act was a normally constructed film. I took inspiration from Nolan. There were real scenes with incredible acting between Jared and Margot. Joker was terrifying. Harley was complex. And then Cathy Yan responded with, "I'm so sorry that this happened to you, David. I know the pain."
The movie that David Ayer made initially, or that he wanted to make, was the movie that, in my opinion, is that they told us that we were going to get, and that they sold us with in the first trailer. Like then when the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer, the one where they had the song playing over the scenes from the movie, like that's where Warner Brothers gave us their interpretation of what the movie was going to be. But the first one, because we were promised a more mature, darker DC movie.
This was supposed to be the first rated R comic book movie, rated R, like big tentpole comic book movie.
When it was first announced, they said it was probably going to be rated R, and then it was written by a trailer company to fit the mold.
So, and I think Deadpool had come out earlier in the year,
and that's exactly what David Ayer said. He's like, Deadpool and then Batman vs Superman kind of caused them to do the reshoots and shift the tone.
And it's upsetting, but it's intriguing because I want to see it. That's the movie I still want to see, because like Connor, I wanted to love Suicide Squad so much. I saw it twice opening weekend.
It looks great. And there are so many scenes. There's like several scenes that like start out so good. And you're like, I'm going to like it. I'm going to like it this time. And then it just crashes and it burns. And it's like, so disappointing because there's so many things that like spark like an interest, and it's I want to like this, but I can't because it goes nowhere.
I love the characters in it. I will say that's one of the better things I can say about that movie.
Yes, Will Smith is my favorite part. Him and Margot Robbie, like my dad grew up right here.
Jai Courtney,
Slipknot was pretty great.
Everything he does, he ruined Die Hard.
2 seconds.
He's so awful, but he's so good. It's Captain Boomerang. And I hate Jai Courtney.
That was like the first role that I felt fit him, because all these other roles, they try to have him be this super serious guy, like Terminator, Die Hard. He just got to be let loose and be funny.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I like this Jai Courtney.
And when they told us all that, Like they told us all that. We saw all that in the trailers. I went to go see it that Friday. I'm like, hell yeah, brother. Let's watch this movie. And then people were rejoicing when the movie ended. Like, yeah, that rocked. And I walked out like, what the hell did I just watch?
Me and Nick
What was this?
Sound familiar, Matt?
Yep.
For
Yep.
a Batman versus
After
Superman?
this movie ended.
Well, no, that was this movie too.
Yeah.
We waited a couple days and we were like, did we actually like that movie?
Yep, we walked
I don't know
out,
about
me, you,
that.
Cody, and Nick, and we're like, that was good. And then a couple days later, that wasn't
We were
good.
like, guys, did we really actually like that movie?
I was like, am I gonna get this green out of my hair? Like it was.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm gonna try to see if I can if I had that picture still.
you did.
Well, in the
I
meantime-
remember
I did
because
do
you
it
pulled
one
it up
time.
during an episode once.
Yeah, we've done this before.
I just my big thing about it is I want to see if we can get a better Joker. Here's the issue: is that like I loved that first trailer. It was one of my favorite trailers of all time, and then that second trailer came out, and I went still hyped because it was Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm gonna guess that's probably why
I love that trailer.
Love that trailer.
It's a good
as much
trailer,
as I
yeah.
did. But it's two different movies.
Yes.
Two different
the
movies.
trailers are
and-
great because it was made by a trailer company.
Right.
We used that same trailer company because they were like, they love these trailers, but the trailers don't exactly show what the movie is.
So
Yeah.
let's go to them to make them.
So they went to the trailer company and was like, can you make the movie like you made the trailers? And they were like,
We can try.
So if
not
the
an
movie is
extended
completely
trailer.
different, sorry.
we got a 2-hour-long trailer that goes nowhere.
Well, if the movie is completely different, did they reshoot that entire ending with what's her face, Enchantress?
Yeah,
They
because
did? Okay.
One of the shot things, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
Because was Joker the villain the entire time of the movie?
No, she wasn't the villain.
No, he said was Joker the villain the entire time.
Was Joker
yeah.
supposed
Yeah.
to be the villain?
Yeah, he was supposed to be the villain originally.
Also, Stephen
Really?
was also introduced at the end. The version we got was the dossier cut.
I'd never heard. I knew that the Joker role was obviously diminished in the theatrical cut, but I'd never heard that he was actually. There was a version of film
He
where
was
he's
supposed
the main
He's
antagonist.
supposed to be the main antagonist. That was the original cut. The original film was like about him getting Harley back, if I remember correctly. Right, Connor?
What's that?
The original film was supposed to be him trying to get.
Harley
Yeah.
and attacking the Suicide Squad.
Yep.
In the helicopter scene, it was recut to make it look like he was trying to save her, but in reality, like in the original cut, she was saying she wants to stay with the Suicide Squad, and he pushed her.
Nick, calm down. I think he's just talking about the Jared Leto version, or maybe he's talking about Enchantress. One of the two.
I do know that they had shot their
Step it
relationship in that film to more reflect the sort of abusive depiction that happens in the comic books too, and they had cut that out. So that would be consistent with what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Whereas instead they framed it as this wacky. Look at these guys. We can sell Hot Topic T-shirts with them on it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to be Joker.
To
You
this
want to be
day.
Harley. Yeah, it's all. They're just so goofy. But no, they shot a version where he's abusive and manipulative. And they,
Yeah, and that's
there's
the
no element of that in the movie.
That's the Ayer cut. That's
the
supposed to
version
be the
we
Ayer
got was that Harley and Joker had that original relationship from the comics, which was abusive and manipulative.
Yeah.
It was too dark for them
Mm.
at that time.
And
Yeah, Chris is a bullshit villain, 100%.
But she dances and makes
oh
magic.
yeah, she dances and
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
she like
the sky. That's
she did that the whole time.
She makes like putty guys come out.
Yeah.
But the coolest part about Enchantress was the transformation scene where it was the hand and then the other hand came up. Like
which is
it was so dope.
that was David.
Where she went from she went
Yeah,
from
that had
June
to be in
to
his movie.
Enchantress. That was hard.
Ah! Sorry, my dad's comment. The Gozer of DC films.
He also said Birds of Prey was the Phantom of DC
I
films.
like Birds of Prey a lot.
He's making some hot comparisons.
I like Birds of Prey.
I like Birds of Prey too.
I like Birds of Prey, and I haven't seen Billy Zane's Phantom, as we've discussed on this show before.
I haven't seen it either. We have to
Phantom.
watch the Phantom.
I can't agree, George. I can't agree.
And I think there's also precedent to do a lighthearted Suicide Squad, like a fun,
Lighthearted.
wacky one. Because the one they're doing right now is James Gunn, so you
And
know
he said it's going to be a
gonna
mixture of dark with fun and wacky.
Right.
It's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy again.
It's R though.
I don't know.
Yes.
I
It's supposed to
think
be
so.
Yeah.
As of now,
I don't
As
think
of
it's
now,
gonna be
yeah.
super lighthearted. I think it's going to be dark.
Yeah, I should have said just like it can
More
be.
a dark comedy.
Yeah, it can be funny because they're insane characters.
Yeah.
You're adapting, right? Especially his version because he's bringing like Pokemon Man and stuff.
Villain, right?
Mhm.
But but like that if that's not the version David Ayer shot, then that's the version. If that's not what they want, then don't tell them that's what you can make, which is the weird creator issue. You guys touched on it too, that DC seemed to have run into for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Taylor, I'm going to give you some homework for next show because I want to bring back retro reviews where we all.
Want me to watch The Phantom?
Oh, hell no.
It's on Amazon Prime, baby.
Oh.
Oh,
No,
I don't really want to though. It's just I can watch anything else is the problem,
Yeah, I know. Just
I go-
give it a shot because you know what, Chris, I like your idea. Let's make that a watch along.
I still have to finish Doom Patrol and Search Party and
I didn't say you. You don't have to, Connor. You got
the last time Matt told me to watch something, it was the most boring 5 hours of my life.
what'd you watch?
He had me watch Space Force.
Wait.
uh,
Hold up. Chris, save that. That's you got your reviews. You're on, so I got your reviews shit set up. So
I
save it.
like Space Force.
You know,
Space Force
actually-
is funny.
Glad one of us did.
I will drop this for you right now. You and Connor, you two.
Okay.
Impromptu review.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna let Chris go first, and then Connor, you're gonna rebuttal, and I'm gonna drop myself and Taylor and Nick off screen real quick.
Word. So, Space Force. This comedy made by Greg Daniels and Steve Carell, famous for their work on The Office together. They had a ball, really popular show, still really successful to this day. So the bar was set pretty high, right? And when this show was announced a little over a year ago, we were getting a show about the recent sixth branch of the military called Space Force. And Steve Carell was going to star in it. They got John Malkovich to be in it. They got Ben Schwartz to be in it. My favorite actress, Diana Silvers, is in it. Like, there's going to be this whole thing. Like, yo, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun show. I watched the first episode, and oh my God, it bored my face off. I was so bored. I laughed once, and it was something Lisa Kudrow said, who's also in the show. She's one of the better parts, in my opinion, because she's barely in it, but she makes her time so worth it. And I mean, I liked it overall, but I was disappointed as hell. I was so disappointed because this is Steve Carell, this comedic genius, teamed up with the guy that made the American version of The Office that is what it is now. Granted, I didn't watch The Office, but the bar was still set pretty high because of the expectation that comes with that. The Office is put on this pedestal, and when I see it all the time, it's like, okay, so it must be good. And they're making a show about space and Space Force, essentially memeing it. They're memeing Space Force the whole time.
Yeah.
It's such a meme. All 10 episodes. Like, everyone's a jerk. There's no like
Everybody's idiotic.
Yeah, the only character that had some sense is John Malkovich. Yeah. And he was by far my favorite part of the whole series.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Him and David Schwartz. I love both of them so much.
Oh, Ben Schwartz.
Was so funny in that show as fuck Tony.
Yeah, F. Tony, whatever his last name was.
Yeah, he was so funny, and I personally I loved it. I thought it was funny. I thought it had heart, especially the scenes with John Malkovich. I thought he brought the kind of levity that a series needs, or anything really needs. He always brings that, and I just thought it was funny. I laughed so much, especially when they discovered the two pets on the one mission.
Oh, they sent the chimp and the dog to the moon.
I thought that whole episode was so funny. The Asian doctor, he
Dr.
was
Chan.
Yeah. He's from Silicon Valley. He's hilarious. I thought he was good. I don't know. I just found a lot of that show hilarious. I laughed a lot. And
I mean, I found myself liking it. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I shouldn't say that, but I dug it enough to watch it. Matt asked me to watch it for the show today, and I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I had no intentions on watching it. Do I regret it? No. It's like, it was fine. But I think that was my problem with it, is that to me it was fine. It was good enough to get me through the rest of the show. Granted, I'm seeing a lot of people's opinions like yours. Like they think it's hilarious, and that like Steve Carell gives me like super Michael Scott vibes. Like he's Michael Scott as the head of Space Force.
He has more freedom in the show to say like things that he couldn't say on NBC.
Oh yeah, he's swearing. The first episode ends with a mother effer.
Yeah,
you know,
so funny. You're like,
yeah, and it was a good chuckle.
Out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
I would give Space Force. Oh man, I would give Space Force a good 2.5 out of 5 reels. Like I liked it enough, but I was disappointed in the end. My favorite episode was the lunar habitat one.
Yeah,
it was so good. I think this show would have been better if they took it more seriously. And
the lunar habitat episode was the equivalent to Mike's Tots scene episode in The Office.
And I've seen,
Did you just compare it to the Mike's Tots that heartbreaking episode?
So awkward. It's so awkward. It's so funny. It's that level of like awkward humor. I would personally give Space Force 3 out of 5. I believe. Okay. They sold it as The Office in space, and that's not what we got, but we still got something really funny.
Okay.
But it was more dark humor, and there was more seriousness in the series than like The Office, which was more. It was joke
situational comedy, and
was kind of more a dramedy, if you will. So I give it, based on what we were sold, as 3 out of 5.
Okay, so you kind of answered the question. The reason I jumped in here, I wanted, because Chris said he'd never watched The Office, and I know you and I have had conversations about The Office. So I was going to ask, was it more like the tone of The Office? But you kind of just answered that. So hey, great. I'm gonna bring Taylor and Nick back in here. All right.
Yeah, Space Force, boy.
Isn't it crazy since they've announced the concept of the American Space Force that in that time a show has been greenlit, written, shot, edited, and released, and people have watched it before anything has actually happened with that Space Force?
And the craziest part about this, I was in awe watching this show because Netflix threw so much money into this production. My God, the sets are nuts. I don't know where they filmed this thing, but holy God, it's beautiful to look at. It's gorgeous. And the CGI that Connor was talking about with some animals is great.
Shot.
Like it's nuts, the production quality of this show. And I think the only reason why I just gave it a 2.5 out of 5 was that I was ultimately disappointed by it. I wanted to love it based off the concept of like we're just memeing Space Force, but ultimately I was disappointed because all it was a meme. It was 5 hours of a meme over and over again. And there were some redeeming qualities. The people that were in it brought it. They did their best with what they were given, but this was definitely rushed. They should have made it more of a dramedy than just a straight comedy. Because the episode I talked about, Lunar Habitat, it has some of the best emotional beats of the whole show.
There's moments where I believe it struggles trying to figure out what it wants to be.
Exactly.
Does it want to be a like off the cuff like comedy, or does it want to be a? I'm sorry about that. Or does it want to be a like a dark comedy dramedy type thing with some emotional scenes? It does struggle with that, and I think that's where it loses me sometimes. But overall, I loved it.
Your cat wants to be the star, Connor.
So much. She
let her in.
Let her in. That's right now.
The show does feature my favorite actress. As already mentioned, not Margaret Qualley, Diana Silvers. Now I know her name, and she's good in it. But man,
Which one was Diana Silvers?
She was Aaron, Mark's daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was good in Ma.
Yeah, she was good on Ma.
Ma.
All right.
Yeah,
No,
and that was review roundup Space Force.
Yes, but
That was
meh. We got technically you can call this one a review roundup. You can call it whatever you want. But I know this one's more for me, Taylor and Connor. We've had the ability to get acquainted with HBO Max. Chris, I know maybe you have. Last I knew you were just okay. Last I knew you were still struggling to decide if you wanted to get it or not. So
Yeah, I haven't mustered up the courage to sign in yet.
They got a free trial, don't they?
7 days.
Yeah.
No, but once I get, I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna be that guy, or should I be that guy?
Be that guy. Here, be
They don't
that
want
guy
you
if
to.
you like it. I mean, hell, I'm halfway through Fresh Prince in 4 or 5 days since its launch.
I'm watching several shows at once.
Well, am I the only one in here that has no experience with HBO Max?
No, Nick has no experience either. So
I have
Okay,
it, but
cool.
I've not used it at all yet.
Okay, 'cause
Oh.
I'm curious. I actually have some questions because I know nothing about this. I don't even know what it looks like.
Should we review HBO Max first and then
Yeah.
do questions?
Please go
Yeah,
crazy.
okay.
Yeah, go crazy.
Connor, I'll let you start off.
At first, at launch, I hated it. One, because I couldn't get it on anything. Couldn't get it on my phone, on my Roku, on my Fire Stick. I couldn't get it on anything. Couldn't even get it on my PS4. Couldn't get it until the next day, halfway through the day. So I finally got it. I love the layout. It's a great library.
Yes, fantastic library.
I'm watching a lot. Like I said, I'm watching Search Party. Probably would have never checked it out unless it was on HBO Max, and it is brilliant. It's hilarious. It's engaging. It's like a murder mystery by what's his name? Something Showalter. He's hilarious. It's really good. Michael Showalter. Yeah.
Word.
It's from him. I'm watching Doom Patrol. I'm revisiting Force. I'm revisiting Adventure Time. I'm revisiting so much on that show. I love it. I love the layout. It's so easy to navigate. It has everything separated by like company. So you have your DC, your TMC, which includes the Criterion Collection.
Oh,
Here, I'm gonna pull up the screen real quick, and that way you can have a visual aid to go with it.
Yeah, if your regular HBO network shows,
Your DC, the Sesame Street stuff.
network, you have your Studio Ghibli,
Yeah.
Crunchyroll, Looney Tunes. You have so much.
there's Crunchyroll on this thing.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah, you have
Wow.
so much on there. It
It's
took
not a
me
lot right. It's not a lot right now, but it's
everything
gonna.
and build my list, but I'm getting there.
Wow.
But I personally love it.
Sesame Street.
I'll be using it constantly.
Nick's favorite thing about this already, and he doesn't even have.
Yo, they got
Yeah.
steel.
Deals on there, yes. Deals.
Yo.
I will say
Sorry,
the
Shaquille O'Neal.
section is extremely limited, but it will expand. It will expand.
Like here.
and I'm excited for that.
Like here, you have Supergirls on it.
Wow, they dusted off the DC shit that nobody else cared to have on their set.
Jonah Hex, are you joking?
They just dumped it all in there.
What do we got going on in that Sesame Street tab, though?
The one thing I'm disappointed about is how they didn't let us know beforehand, hey, you're not going to be able to get this app or service on these devices.
They did like 24 hours beforehand.
Okay, well, that was right before it launched.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like
People
they
already
did.
pre-ordered it, and they said, oh, you can't get it on Roku and Fire,
Well, Roku's actually getting
without
close
Fire,
to being able to have it.
which
released.
are
But-
the two main streaming devices that people
Yep.
have in their home.
Yeah.
Not everybody has an Apple TV or a PS4.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And
And like,
nobody wants to stream on their phone.
Yeah.
So
Like-
that's one thing that is going to cost them. And
Right.
that's why I think the Ayer Cut is going to happen, is because they want to release something on HBO Max that will bring in
10. Okay.
viewers. And right now, they lost a lot of people.
yeah, already there are people who cancel it.
I tweeted something upon launch, and I think I got like 100 likes, like 50 retweets about how awful it was on launch. So
And then there was stuff that was on here at launch that was like off the next day because they couldn't
Yeah.
have it up there.
12 rounds 3?
yeah, they have 400.
Is that Randy Orton?
That was Dean Ambrose.
Oh wow.
I've actually seen that one. It's not good. Oh my god.
They need to have just a WWE side tab over there.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I say if
That's where we
Everybody
watch
loves
Cena
Astro Boy.
Yo.
you have something if you have like an Android TV, if you have a PS4 or an Apple TV, I say all for it. Get HBO Max. I know Roku is more inclined to bring it in.
Amazon's like fighting it tooth
Yeah,
and nail.
Amazon probably will never happen, but Roku probably will. They're just settling. And
Big.
I say get HBO Max. It's great.
We got Black Knight, Chris.
It's one of the more like
Where's it?
recently looking
Right here.
streaming
Oh
services.
my god.
The layout of it is fantastic.
And a
Oh,
Thomas
Bohemian Rhapsody.
family suggestion, even George, Blast from the Past. This is one I had on my guilty pleasures list.
Blood
That's
Simple.
right.
They have Blood Simple.
Blind Spotting is fantastic.
Yeah.
Sesame
They
Street.
have Paris, Texas on there. If you have never
Okay.
seen Paris,
Yeah,
Texas,
I'm with Nick. We need to see that Sesame Street tab real
Seriously,
fast.
that's good stuff right
Here,
there.
Chris, something we'll watch with you. Child's Play 2 and 3.
I'll actually watch the Child's Play movies. Jokes on
yeah,
you,
this is
nerd.
also something else I don't get. They 1 and 3, and they have Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 9.
That's
Somebody
all
else
about,
got the streaming
that's all about
rights.
rights right now. That's
Yeah.
all that is.
Yeah.
But like Clock Stoppers, holy
Clock-
hell.
Condemned 2 starring Randy Orton, WWE superstar.
Condemned 1
Condemned
starring
and
Steve
Condemned
Austin.
Condemned with
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, we gotta
Yeah.
watch these. I'm gonna get it so we can watch these.
HBO
I have the
Max,
entire Critter series though.
No, but Condemned.
Condemned.
Condemned 2 specifically. I've never seen it and I want to watch
They
it.
have the See No Evil films on here. I think those are in the Criterion Collection.
Speaking of films, is Elmo was it Elmo Goes to Grouchland or whatever? the hell
Elmo
it's
and
called?
Grouchland.
Elmo and Grouchland.
That
Is
is
that
Elmo
in
Takes
here?
Manhattan.
movie.
Elmo.
Oh snap! I didn't know that Little Shop of Horrors was part of the TCM. Okay.
Yep.
Cult
Word.
classics, Fantastic Planet, Piranha,
See No Evil.
Eraserhead.
I like this segment where we just try to figure out what we want to watch tonight.
Yeah.
And
That's
people-
what my
Yeah,
one
as
Harold
I'm
and
downloading
Maude.
the app on my phone.
Chris is like, yeah,
Matt,
this is.
did you just say Harold and Maude like you wanted to watch that?
No, I was just shocked. 'cause I
Hey,
see it
Harold
like,
Motter
oh,
here.
Harold and Maude. I know what I'm watching tonight.
No, I'm gonna watch The Phantom with Taylor.
No, you are not.
Well, no,
Watch
this
Scanners. Watch Scanners.
Yo.
I watched
No.
Critters with the young DiCaprio.
no, Taylor.
All right, let's do it.
Taylor, you have to watch Doom Patrol. Like that is a show
Yeah.
that is built
Taylor,
on
you would like
great.
Patrol minus episode 5. Episode 5 is very corny, but
Yeah, episode 5 sucks. But Doom Patrol is a show that I've been a fan of since last year because it started on DC Universe, and it's very. Oh yeah, they have 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's very it's
Elmo.
it's that weird and out there tone that
it
you and
reminds
Connor
me a
like.
lot of Umbrella Academy, and I loved Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, this came out at the same time as Umbrella Academy, but because it was on DC Universe and not as easily accessible, it didn't get the same hype around it. Here you go. So Chris and
yes, sir.
no Elmo and Grouchland, but you have the Not Too Late show with Elmo.
Garbage.
What's up with
Trash.
that? Wow, garbage.
Yeah,
Wow.
if you didn't know, Elmo actually interviews Arthur Fleck. And
What?
There's only
Why do we spend so little time on the Sesame Street tab?
one episode. Spoiler alert:
This is-
Elmo gets shot in the head.
Okay, I'm not even gonna front. I do want to watch that late night Elmo show just because it looks
Like
ridiculous.
here, look how small the Looney
Get what
Tunes
you
tab is. You have
fucking
the classic
deserve.
show, the new
Oh, you know what comes out in a week? Looney Tunes back in action.
My
Sold.
favorite movie.
and it's
Sold.
only going to be available on here, Chris.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn it! I already downloaded the app. I'm submitting my credit card information.
But yeah, like I was like, okay, no baby Looney Tunes, but we got Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. Let's go.
Yeah, another series no one's ever seen ever.
Excuse me, I grew up on that show.
Do they have
No,
that weird like Looney Tunes reboot where they try to make them like super cool?
Yep, right there. The Looney Tunes show, right?
You got to go back to Sesame
No,
Street for
not
Nick.
that one. It was something
What?
else where they were like cool teens.
Yeah,
They have-
Nick. Matt spent
Oh.
like 5 seconds on Sesame Street. Spoiler alert: there's no
I'm
Elmo in
sorry.
Grouchland.
My internet was like, I needed to make sure that something wasn't like running downstairs that was completely tearing me up.
Like
Oh,
literally,
that's the new Elmo show.
Yeah, this is it. That's why we spent so little time on it, Chris. Because
That's it.
Yes, that's
How's
it.
there more Sesame Street content than Looney Tunes?
Because Looney Tunes is just one giant show.
Is Space Jam going to be on this thing?
Not
I'm surprised
yet.
it's not.
There's a few movies like Space Jam and Looney Tunes Back in Action that still have to live out their contract on Netflix first before they can come over.
Or,
Hey, Taylor, are you thinking of Lunatics Unleashed?
Yes,
The
thank you.
superhero TV show?
Yes.
But
Thank you for helping.
but
me.
yeah, so that like
that's
I like
nuts.
HBO Max. I'm still in the middle of
I
just
give HBO Max a thumbs up.
I give it like a
Just
B
play that.
right now.
But
I'm serious. If Lunatics Unleashed is put on there, I'll give it a thumbs up.
I'll give it one of these.
That show was the shit growing up.
Isn't it
you've
crazy?
seen it?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, it was on.
I
Oh,
had no idea what you guys
Hey,
were
Nick,
talking about.
question, Nick. Did you watch Sylvester and Sweetie Mysteries growing up?
No.
See, what the hell is
Damn.
that? What the hell is that?
Let me look at. I mean, maybe I did. I
Was it
didn't
on
realize
WB
what
Kids way too early in the morning, and I wasn't up to watch it?
I watched Showgirls growing up.
That explains
Word.
so much about you, Connor. With that, that sex scene, man. They're in there in the fountain.
One.
Oh, I thought we are still talking about
The
Sylvester.
swimming
and
pool
Tweety.
with Kyle MacLachlan.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that one's insane.
I mean,
We need to cool it. as
to
a
answer
group.
your question,
That
Matt,
seems
I'm
hot.
sure that I probably have watched it before.
I just remember the
It's like-
scene. I remember the theme song. Sylvester
Hmm.
and Tweety Mysteries.
This was in
that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
Connor's
I
looking for
used to
Showgirls.
watch a lot of. I probably watched a Looney Tunes episode about Showgirls before. I watched so much of that stuff.
Jesus.
So I don't know.
But yeah, so HBO Max, I'm gonna give it a solid B personally. I enjoy it. But
I give
yeah,
it a B plus only because HBO doesn't really know what the fuck it's doing.
yeah.
Different streaming services. It's
Technically,
updated
Showgirls isn't on it.
app on several devices, but
Yeah.
the ones that you can't get HBO Max are still
it's still HBO now.
You have HBO Go, and if you have HBO Go, you have to get HBO Max. So they don't know what they're doing. It's not on all devices. So
Mm-mm.
therefore, I give it a B plus because I love the layout. I think it's easily navigable, and it's got a just amazing library that's only going to keep growing. So B plus for me.
So was the launch better or worse
Pretty
than
good.
Disney Plus's launch?
Oh, worse.
Launch was worse.
Way worse.
Because Disney Plus was a
HBO Max
mess
was
to get to.
absolute horseshit. I couldn't watch anything at launch. I had to wait until the next day, halfway through the day.
Disney Plus, at least they made everything readily available. But the thing is, they just got so much traffic it crashed. That was the issue with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I was able
Disney
to
Plus
get
was a mess.
Disney Plus at launch.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh,
I was
get
too,
the app was
I
getting the
woke
app
up-
was the easy part.
Oh yeah, I woke up at like 5 a.m. to watch The Mandalorian. I'm gonna be honest. That's
Yeah,
kind of-
Matt told me that I needed to do that, and then I
Well,
didn't.
originally we were gonna have a watch
I had
party
to
at
wait
my
till
house.
like
though.
4 p.m. next day.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So hey, that's HBO Max. But I'm gonna talk about something that's gonna get the Murmur Boys a little bit excited right now. We got a word.
Is Murmur in the Criterion Collection?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nice.
So you guys, I spoke.
Maybe when it
With
gets
See No Evil.
No, it's that the Decision, the
no,
Battle for the Dew. That's definitely in the Criterion.
no, the Decision 2 is what's in the Criterion Collection.
That's only rumored at this point.
Is that the spaghetti?
Yeah, Spaghetti's
That's
the
the one that I
Decision?
got.
Decision.
Decision. The sequel
No,
to Deuce.
Deuce.
Yeah.
No,
It's the one that it's the one where you guys are eating spaghetti and I'm not there.
It's not there.
I was supposed
Word.
to be, and then I wasn't. And weirdly enough, all your shots are out of focus, so maybe I should have been. So
It's a good film.
not to call you guys out. But.
You have classical piano music playing in front of Limp Bizkit.
Yes. Sorry, Matt, you were saying?
No, I'm pulling it up.
Oh, we're playing that?
Please.
I want to watch this.
Whoever's left watching will not be there by the time it's over.
Yeah.
How long is it?
The first one? Is it the first one we're talking about? Because if it's the first one, I appear at the end of it, and I also incorrectly spell something, and it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it and hardly
need
remember
links.
what happens in the first one in a long time. I remember everything about the second one. I remember everything about the spaghetti one. I don't really remember anything about the chase scene one.
I need links.
I know. I'm working on it. Whose YouTube was that under?
Here, I can get.
On mine. See Breedlove Films.
Okay. See Breedlove. Got you.
Yeah, dust the password off that one, buddy. We need some more content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit! See Breedlove Films.
These videos are pretty
See
good.
Breedlove Films.
Gotcha. 6 subscribers, 10 videos. There we go. Sorry, it was called the Baja Saga.
To call him out for not having a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, the Baja
damn.
Can't all have 1,000 like me.
So yeah, Chris, we got to do a watch party of all the.
I want to watch all you guys' movies.
Oh God,
All of them.
I mean, I have a lot of unlisted stuff on my YouTube channel that I will never be willing to share.
Insane.
Like here,
The Peter
Am I
Parker
going to need an adult beverage?
absolutely bonkers.
oh, you'll want one just to laugh along with it. They're crazy.
Word.
Well, let's get. But while we can go on and show you all that after the show, Chris, when we can still be talking.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It was actually the announcement of Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
That's what has.
That's the director's cut I need to see. Give me the original Sonic.
Give me the Fowler
original
cut,
cameo
brother.
at the end. Show me what that movie was supposed to be.
Give me the Fowler cut with the original hedgehog. That's what I want.
Put those blue genitals back on that
Connor
body.
going? Where's Connor going?
I want to see what Tails looked like before they redid it.
The first one. I don't want to.
I still haven't watched Sonic the Hedgehog. What do you guys think of
I
that?
feel like I have an obligation now.
It's
Yeah.
Connor. It's not bad. It's not good.
It's solid.
It's okay.
I like it.
It's not Shawshank Redemption, but it's not bad.
What?
What's
Taylor, I understand.
I know.
level good?
You and Terrence made that pact. Which, by the way, at this point, you might as well just set up a private viewing on Streamyard and watch it with him. Share. One of you rents it and you share the
How
screen.
compared to Detective Pikachu?
Detective Pikachu's better.
Yeah, sure.
But Sonic's not bad because of the comparison. If you know
What
I mean.
is better than Detective Pikachu? Because I haven't found that.
Not much.
Shawshank Redemption?
Not much.
When it comes to video game movies, not much.
No,
When it comes to video game movies, Shawshank Redemption.
When it comes to all
Warcraft?
movies,
yeah, not much.
Say Warcraft?
I love Warcraft for all the wrong
Warcraft is
reasons.
good. I'll defend Warcraft. I like it.
So can I.
I saw it like 3 times in the theater.
Dare you? Don't mute me. Don't
Wow.
mute me.
Warcraft is good.
Warcraft is alright.
Let's look up those video game movies. And also, I'm sorry about I'm really scared that I got us onto a like video game movie tangent. I kind of thought there was more horror-based video game movies than there were. So
no, it was good. We talked about it. I mean, most of them are unfortunately by Uwe Boll, but we got into it.
And then we
See
talked
No Evil
about,
is still my favorite one, but like I don't know.
Hey, Five Nights at Freddy's supposedly going to come out one day. So
With Blumhouse.
yeah,
That's gonna be the best movie.
That's what I want to see. Directed by Jeff Fowler,
We
director who's coming back for Sonic 2.
we talked about Bubba.
Well
on release.
played.
That was good.
Look, this Sonic 2 announcement was a matter of time.
Yeah.
The first one did probably better than expected,
Yes,
but you know, with the circumstances with the pandemic, it didn't make as much as it could have,
but it's made a bank on home video rentals because it
which is
wasn't a
awesome.
$20 rental. They just said, yeah, it's already been out for like a month, so here you go, throw it at you for $5, which I respect.
So the Sonic 2, I want to see them open this world more. Spoiler alert, Connor, we got to see more of the world, more of the Sonic universe, the SCU. Hell, the Sonic Cinematic Universe. Hell yeah, brother.
Let's not do that quite yet.
No, that's the thing now. You got a sequel.
I
you can
want
actually
I
use
want to
it.
see this. Spoiler alert, and the pictures on Twitter and on social media. Tails is at the end of this movie,
I'm gonna look
and
it up.
it was really cool.
I saw it before the movie. Even
Did you?
got pre-releases? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but like they did Tails, and so that means like we're gonna see Knuckles.
Oh,
and,
he's cute.
yeah, Tails
Yeah.
is cute. And
Oh,
what
he's
the hell do you
super
look like
You can
before they
actually
redid
watch the
Sonic?
scene on YouTube.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
really?
He looks
Yeah.
really good.
Should I rent this
He
tonight?
looks really cute, guys.
Watch
it's worth
Sonic.
a $5 rental. It's worth a $5 rental.
It's fun.
Also,
It's fun.
everybody, Angry Birds 2 is ranked ahead of Detective Pikachu on the video game Rotten Tomato list. So I'm just letting you all know that Angry Birds 2 is better than Detective Pikachu. Go
I've
on.
seen that movie, and I can tell you, it definitely,
Shawshank,
definitely is a movie.
Angry Birds 2.
Shawshank
Right.
Redemption, Angry Birds 2. There you go.
Those birds are definitely pretty mad, I gotta say.
No, but
And
Sonic
Rampage
2
is
getting
better.
getting officially confirmed. Awesome. It's a matter of time. The director and the writer are coming back, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool. Give me more of this. I want more.
Show me
Give me
that
more James
echidna.
Marsden and Jim Carrey.
It was going to crash and burn. I thought it was going to be a pile of dog shit, but apparently it's good, and I'll watch it tonight, and I'll come back with my thoughts.
Please.
Also, Prince of Persia is the best video game movie, clearly, right? Everybody?
No,
I
it's
got a
doomed.
soft spot.
No.
I got a soft
No.
spot for Prince of Persia. I ain't even gonna lie.
Interesting.
White, even though it's whitewash and all. Yes,
I
if
want
you
to
have
see it.
HBO, you do get HBO
If
Max.
you have HBO billed through HBO, you get HBO Max.
Yeah, you can't.
Super Mario
that
Brothers
middleman,
is
you gotta
number
cut
one.
the middleman.
And if you have HBO through Hulu, you can't get HBO Max through Hulu. You still got to go to the HBO Max website.
Warcraft. I will defend Warcraft.
I'll defend Pikachu, Warcraft. I'll defend the new Tomb Raider, which is pretty
Tomb,
decent.
yeah, the new Tomb Raider was good.
I'll defend Pikachu with my life.
And so will I. I will lay down and
Hey Connor,
It's precious.
Connor, I've heard from sources that Alicia Vikander was like high off her ass that entire movie.
Oh,
Good. She was great. Good
Oh,
for her. I hope she had a ball.
Walter
Especially
Goggins.
when they ripped off the whole third act from freaking Last Crusade.
Wow.
That's the video game.
And yeah, I mean, granted, Tomb Raider's always been like a knockoff of Indiana Jones, but it was blatant.
I will defend this guy until I'm blue in the face.
Hey, at least the Monster Hunter movie will be really good, right?
Right.
Kate Blanchett's in that. Let's hope.
Monster Hunter? No, that's the Borderlands, right? That's the
God
Borderlands.
bless it. Yeah, that's what I'm
Monster
saying.
Hunter is the Paul W.S. Anderson, Mila Jovovich joint.
Yeah.
Never
which-
mind. I take it back.
Good.
Also, who knew
Goomba-
Eli Roth was making a Borderlands movie? I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
And that's going to be good, probably.
You think so?
Eli Roth, hell yeah.
I do think it's going to be good
Oh,
because
man.
House with the Clock was great.
They have no aspects of art and do not do anything as films that make them better.
Okay, you got to remember that CGI is art itself.
What are we
Detective
talking about when it comes to that sense, though?
I think it's
Mewtwo is art. Period. Done.
how they did Pikachu, how they did half the Pokemon in that films is art alone. So
seeing that
I thought it was
what's the
pretty
monkey
cool
in
looking.
the Apom?
Apom,
The
Yeah,
Bulbasaur
Bulbasaur
was
is
gorgeous.
very
And the swirls,
detailed.
All that was great.
Mr. Mime looked fantastic.
I did hear mine.
That whole scene was so good.
That movie.
You make me connect emotionally to CGI, like fictional characters.
Played by Ryan Reynolds. Yes.
Well, not
They're
only
all played by Ryan Reynolds.
Turtles
all
and
of them.
Bulbasaur were so cute.
Bulbasaur almost made me cry.
They were paddling. They were paddling in water.
So cute.
I had a
Wow.
tear in my eye. That was so cute.
Yeah, just to see it come to life. It got me. It worked. I didn't think it was gonna work on me. It worked on me.
You
I'm
gotta
trying to
remember,
think of the most
you were-
disturbing looking
you were
Pokemon ever. I
3,
guess.
4, 5, 6 years old when this show came out. Like, so for us to see where we were and where we are now, that's gonna hit us. Someone that I know who Papa Man is a friend of my brother's, who doesn't have that kind of age. Like, I know Taylor, you're probably 10 years older than this person. So like, it's gonna hit you a different way.
Yeah, dude, I was there for Pokemon the first movie in theaters. I got the trading
Right.
card in the lobby.
Hell yeah.
I got the Pokeballs at Burger King with the Boolean gold inside,
Yeah.
and I had a great time at Detective Pikachu. I think yes, video games and movies are two different art forms, but it doesn't mean they can't cross over. Just as novels and comic books and films are also all different art forms that regularly cross over.
Papa Man, we're not talking about Pikachu being made for. I'm talking about the art that went to the art that went into making a real live action looking version of him. That's what I'm saying is an art form.
Yeah,
Not
they definitely
Pikachu.
credited the peeps behind Pokemon with the work because they did the hard part. Like the peeps that launched the trading card game in the anime, they did all the dirty work to where we can get movies like Detective Pikachu. Of course, that's the gimmick. But with the movie that we got based off the pre-existing IP, I really rock with it. I can say I love
Would I've preferred a Pokemon Yellow or Blue film? Yes. Or Red or Blue film? Yes, definitely.
Or
But
a
I'm-
mystery.
What kind of a movie would that be, though? A Pokemon Red and Blue film, or is it just like following some random kid?
It would literally be Pokemon the first movie, basically.
Yeah, just be your Ash Ketchum.
It'd be the first series, and
Right. Oh well, I think that's paving the way for something like
yeah,
that to
and
happen.
they
Oh,
thought
yeah.
something like this would be the testing ground for it because they didn't know how
Right.
a movie like that would. And I get
And it
that.
worked.
You're testing the IP more or less.
Yeah. Now, granted, I disagree with that logic a little bit because now you're going to have to write some of these newer gen Pokemons into what should be a Red or Blue film.
Not necessarily. If
They did it perfectly.
do
in the
it.
movie.
Well, no, because I'm saying with Red or Blue, it's just that's the original 150. So,
151. But yeah, you're gonna have to. I'm a Pokemon stan. Everybody, I'm very sorry.
Well, if you just treat the Pokemon as regional, I mean that's kind of how they do it with the games anyway. So just treat them
hola,
as
thank you
regional.
for joining us.
Hello.
From Argentina, my lord.
Wow.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Howdy.
I would argue though that you could either set it in like the 90s or something like that. I mean, that's the thing with Pokemon is like everything kind of looks like, I don't know. Pokemon's kind of weird, but I agree. I mean, it's a regional thing, I'm sure, when it comes to that, is that you have the different islands that all these Pokemon are on.
Yeah.
The Detective Pikachu one would just kind of be the central hub, I guess. Because in the lore of Pokemon, these other Pokemon had to have existed technically, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm saying in like the originals.
Well, no, because remember, they were discovering them as they went along. Like, oh, we discovered this new Pokemon. We discovered this new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, well.
I don't
But
think
no.
you had to split them up by region. Like at this point with what they're establishing in the world that they already established, they don't have to split the regions up. Like they had a nice blend of every gen, in my opinion. Like I thought I'd never see, what was it, the Apom and a Greninja on the screen or share some type of media together. Like it's nuts. And it's two completely different gens. And
Make a
it
live
worked
action
fine.
Sudowoodo origin story movie,
see-
and I'm there.
Oh God.
Bam, live action.
My favorite.
It's
That's
Groot.
my favorite Pokemon. In Pokemon Go, I catch every single Sudowoodo I possibly can. I don't release it to the wild. Best Pokemon there is. Don't at me. I'm out.
Wow,
Oh God.
We do stand Sudowoodo.
that was really
Stand.
intense. I'm a little
I'm sorry.
intimidated.
All right. Let's move on a little
Sonic
bit.
2.
Yeah,
job.
Sonic 2. We're
Show
excited.
me that Echidna next year or whatever.
Hell yeah, dude. He's got to be wearing a cowboy hat, right?
Oh,
I'm
God.
talking that. I'm talking that Knuckles right there.
No, but
Coming to a drive-in near you.
coming to a drive-in near you.
I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of which, how was the night at the drive-in the other night?
It's great, man. I mean, this time it was a little different. We saw two movies we'd already seen. It was Knives Out and The Wretched, which we obviously just reviewed on Thursday.
I'm going to the drive-in tomorrow.
Oh, what are you seeing?
The Wretched and then some other horror movie right after.
Awesome.
I can't remember what it's called. I think it's hold on. I'll tell you in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to know. Hold it down. For the next
Give
countdown.
me 1 moment.
You didn't have it.
Yeah.
See it.
5 seconds. Boo.
Come on, Argentina's on the line, man. We can't lose
Oh,
them.
man.
We
Her.
summoned,
Fill in the
Her.
dead space with something.
Her.
What's it called?
Her?
we
It's her.
summoned the darkness.
We summon the darkness.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. I don't know if I've
I
heard of
have
it.
not heard of it, but I'm interested in seeing it. It's playing right after The Wretched, which I've already seen. We reviewed on Really Scared. Loved it. So
Oh, is that the one with Alex
Alexander
Daddario in it?
Daddario. Yeah.
Okay, I have heard of it. I've seen like a trailer for it. I'll be interested to know what your thoughts are on Thursday.
yeah, absolutely. I'll
Hell yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
All right. But moving on, guys, this is something I know a lot about, and I think Chris and Connor might. I know I've tried to get Nick to watch this show. I can't attest to Taylor, but Cobra Kai is now searching for a new home on streaming. It's looking like it's coming down to Netflix and Hulu, but the show will be leaving YouTube, which honestly I'm kind of shocked by, but I'm happy about it at the same time because now this show is going to be able to be viewed by more eyes like it deserves to be seen. So
I always thought that YouTube making original content was weird. It was ambitious,
yes,
but super weird.
And now they're backing off of it, and that's why we're getting this.
Which was the expected move, especially after a lot of these shows didn't take off. Cobra Kai seems like the one that really went to that extra level, or jumped that level from just being a YouTube show to really
being a TV show.
Yeah, Papa Man brought up in the YouTube chat that like it was nostalgia. And Cobra Kai is nostalgia 1000%, but it arguably is one of the better kinds because they're expanding on the world post the Karate Kid films, and we're seeing different sides of the characters that we may have not liked in the films.
And we're seeing the evolution of those characters, which is even
exactly
evolution to this day of Daniel and why am I forgetting the villain's name?
Johnny Lawrence.
Daniel and Johnny. We're seeing their evolutions as middle-aged men. We're seeing the evolutions of those characters,
and the fact that they made their presence known on YouTube, and that YouTube is choosing not to pick this up anymore, and it going to different streaming services makes sense.
Already done. They paid for it, but apparently they're just like, we'll sell you.
And
YouTube, here's the issue with YouTube. Right. As the YouTube, as everybody has their HBO Max and Disney Plus, I have YouTube, and I only watch YouTube. I have a Roku stick, and I only watch YouTube on it. So YouTube, the issue is that they're having a hard time enough keeping their own creators on their platform. A lot of them are going over to Twitch, a lot of them. So they just paid an assload of money to keep PewDiePie on their. So they're
streamer.
So they're kind of. I could imagine that they're trying to shy away from original content enough just to keep their regular people on and stuff like that. So that's all.
Connor, Taylor, have either of you watched Cobra Kai? I just want to ask.
No, I'll never pay for a YouTube subscription.
For me, it came free with Google Play Music, and because I'm an Android user, it just carries over. So you get YouTube Premium to go with Google Play Music. So that's the only reason
I'm not ashamed, but I don't watch Cobra Kai because I don't care. So
that's the only reason I have Apple Music. I get like a 2-year subscription.
I use it for music. I use it for just watching creators. It's basically like watching it ad free, which it really was never a big deal. But for the music side of things, if I'm sitting here editing, I could just kind of listen to music. It's so.
Well, no, Cobra Kai. I'll make my point real quick, Chris, and I'll get back to you. Cobra Kai has been one of those surprise shows. It was a show I was like, okay, it's a Karate Kid sequel. I love the original Karate Kid. Hell, I even like Jaden Smith's one. Let me go back and give this. A shot. Like, shot in the dark. Let's take it. Let's see what happens. And I ended up with a show that is really kick ass and almost like a hard PG-13, close to rated R version of Karate Kid.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
You said that Netflix and Hulu are the contenders.
Yeah.
I think going to Netflix would be smart. More people are going to probably gravitate to it and watch it because Netflix probably has a bigger subscription base than Hulu. More people will watch it. More people will watch the new season. However, it seems like one of those shows that will come back for a season or two and then get canceled after this new season or the season after.
I don't know because it's relatively inexpensive.
Hulu doesn't have a lot of original content, which I would be able to draw in viewers to a new show on that streaming service, and more people will watch it.
And Hulu's primarily owned by Disney, so you're going to get that Disney money cycling in.
And more people will watch it, and it'll go on for a few more seasons, probably more than what Netflix will. Netflix is introducing a new series every week. you have new stuff on Netflix every week. You're gonna be battling with so much stuff, especially
Right.
for families.
They don't always. I mean, I've found that the stuff that I enjoy on Netflix, and Matt can attest to this, gets canceled before anything even happens. So, if you're there, yeah, you want to be on Hulu. Probably.
I look at it this way: Get Down, everything sucks. There's been a ton of Netflix shows that I love that get like 1 or 2 seasons, and they're some of their more higher quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you mention the Get Down in my presence? That show broke my heart.
And I
got
bet
canceled
on Hulu. I probably would have gravitated to it and watched it.
Yeah, like Netflix does a piss poor job unless it's a Stranger Things or BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, if I'm not
they do a piss poor job of marketing.
BoJack
around the same time as
BoJack, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. You're battling with so much stuff that's coming out on Netflix that you're going to get a hit show that Netflix is going to prioritize over your show. They're not going to put a lot of advertising into Cobra Kai if they get it because it's already had 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
For a couple days, they'll have it as the main thing on their page. They'll wait for viewers to catch on, and then they'll move on to the next thing. And when they see that it's trending online, they're going to prioritize that.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm against the binge model, honestly, because I think the binge model is what's ruining stuff for content creators. Because you're having these things be popular for a week or 2 max, and then it's now in the background of everything else.
I mean, yeah, but people talk about Stranger Things like...
Yeah, but you get fandoms are created, but you don't see something like Harley Quinn where you go online and that show's talked about like in most geek spheres. If you go on any geek page, that show will be brought up and you'll see hundreds on hundreds of comments. Comicbook.com always does a review of each episode. EW does a review of each episode.
If you're not going to go with the streaming model, just go to cable television.
Well, no,
because like I said, there is new shows coming out on streaming services so often that if you're not doing the binging model, then you're going to be overlooked.
No, I'm just saying I'm a fan of these streaming services like Disney Plus and DC Universe. Just doing,
I'm sure it's good, and I plan on going back to it. But after 5 episodes, so much stuff has come out that I started watching that, and by time that show, the first season had ended on Disney Plus, I already know what's happened.
See that, and that's a you thing. I'm just talking about my personal preference. I like it's the water cooler talk. That's the theory of water cooler talk, where essentially you're gonna be talking to people. Hey, did you see the latest episode? This, that, and the other. With this, things are getting spoiled less. That's why I hate the binge model, because things can be spoiled for you like a few hours after it's released because somebody had it before you.
It's a catch-22, really. Yeah. Like, there's no correct answer because both have proven to be successful. Like, when Disney Plus launched, all their shows were weekly. And, like, that's why Mandalorian got so... Like, I think it was better for the show because, yeah, it was the water cooler gimmick where you talk about Mando every week.
Did you see what Mandalorian did, or did you see that? And that's what
exactly.
It's better for the show in the long run because... Overall, you're having a conversation extend over a few months. I'm not for 22 episode shows. Okay, maybe I can get behind the binging because, like, Chris knows I just binge watched all the DC shows and CW shows that I normally watched because those are hard to keep up on. But I'm talking about with streaming services where you have these 8 to 10 episode seasons. The week to week makes sense.
Patrol weekly.
Yes, that is a weekly show.
I probably wouldn't have never watched this show if it was on HBO Max and weekly.
But think about it. Most HBO shows are weekly. And you watch those.
After the 5th episode, I probably would have stopped because I hated the 5th episode. But there's 10 more episodes after that, and I know that. And from you, I know it gets better because you've seen every episode.
Yes.
If we were watching weekly, I probably would have cut it off at the 5th episode. I would have never gone further.
Yeah, no, See, my thing is,
if all 15 episodes were released at once, you watched it before me, I'm at the 5th episode, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to keep watching it. But you've seen all 15 episodes, and you're like, this is going to get better. Keep watching it.
yeah,
That's a benefit of the binge model.
but not everyone's like me, Connor. Not everyone's going to avoid telling you the spoilers. You're going to have people who go online who just tweet it out and talk about it on Facebook.
Spoilers, they're going to tell someone, I don't want to know what happens. And
But I'm not talking about when you're talking friend to friend. I'm talking about just general people online. You go on, you say you're on a Facebook page, and it's just a geek centric page, and somebody's like, "Can you believe that this just happened on this?"
But here's the thing: if someone actually cares about like not being spoiled, they'll tell someone who's talking about it near them, "Hey, I don't want to know what happens. I'm watching this show."
But I'm not talking about. I just said I'm not talking about the near them. I'm not talking about when you're in a general forum where you have no control over what people are saying. All you can do is leave.
Like social media.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Social media.
Stay off of social media when that happens. So many people stayed off of social media when the newest season of Stranger Things came out. Everybody stayed off social media.
But some people don't. Like Chris said, it's a catch-22. I mean, there's definitely the benefits to
when the last season of Game of Thrones was happening, everybody stayed off social media because they didn't want to be spoiled. When Endgame came out, people stayed off of social media because they didn't want to know what happened. If people don't want to know what happens on something, they'll stay off the social.
I was going to say, yeah, I think that it's as simple as this.
I don't think people stayed off of social media.
It's your own control. If you don't want to be spoiled to something, then don't go on to social media. I mean, I found that it's a lot easier to not do it.
Don't stay off.
Like I'll be honest with you, and it has nothing to do with anything. I just months ago stopped going on Facebook as much, and I've found that it's a lot easier to do it now. Like keeping my own social media to what I want it to be, just to even avoid spoilers and stuff like that. Because I'll be honest, it was such a, going back to the Tails point, with Sonic 2, with Sonic, I was on Twitter one day, and out of nowhere, just trying to look to see what people were saying about Sonic before even the preview screenings were happening around here, and that clip was already online, already being shown to everybody else. Now, I understand that was kind of a freak accident in my sense, but if I had not searched it, then obviously I would have never known.
The idea between, and to get back to the Cobra Kai stuff for a second, I think it would benefit from going to Hulu because, yeah, like what Connor said, it will get eaten alive at Netflix because and Hulu is probably going to throw the money at it because it's a relatively newer show. It will probably be labeled as a Hulu original, and you're going to bring people in because not everybody's seen this thing on YouTube. This is going to be a brand new show to people. You're going to have 3 seasons to watch. And if they do the weekly thing, like it'll probably be more beneficial, but at the same time, it's not the same IP like as Star Wars is. Like that's why Stranger Things gets dropped all at once because people want to watch the show. And that's just how Netflix was doing it, or how Netflix is doing it. And like what Nick said, it's up to you. If you go on to if Stranger Things season 5 dropped right now, and I hadn't seen it yet, and I went on Twitter, that's my own fault if I get something spoiled. Because I easily could have not been on it. It's as simple as that. But with Cobra Kai, going to Hulu and doing the weekly thing would be okay, but I don't blame them if they do the all at once. Like there's pros and cons. It just depends on what Hulu's doing. And from what I'm seeing, they do the all at once thing and not the weekly.
Hulu actually does a mixture of it. There's some.
It depends on the IP.
Yeah, it depends on the IP because I remember originally when the Runaways came out. Originally, the Runaways they dropped the first 3 episodes and then went to weekly.
Which I think if Hulu picks up Cobra Kai, they should do like a certain amount of episodes first and then go to weekly.
See, with Cobra,
that audience, if you do 1 episode, I'm gonna forget about it in 7 days. I promise you.
See, Cobra Kai is the type of show that you drop in one because the episodes are only about 25 minutes.
Exactly.
But
either do a few episodes and then do weekly, or do all of the episodes at once.
see, a 25-minute show, I understand doing the all at once because it's a sitcom. There's not anything to. I'm talking about more like. I personally, I would like if Stranger Things was weekly. I love that Doom Patrol and Titans is weekly. I love that Harley Quinn is weekly. Because even though Harley Quinn is actually one of those 30-minute shows, that's just because of the cliffhangers Harley Quinn leaves you off on. But I love being able to have that time to theorize with people about what's happening next or what's going to happen next. And that's something you don't really get with the binge model. You get to theorize what will happen next season, and you talk about it for like a week or two, and then you're going back to other conversations compared to a show like The Mandalorian, where or even High School Musical, the series. Chris and I, week to week, we would talk to each other about that show and what we
love that show
and what we thought would happen that next week. So it's things like that.
Same thing with the Jeff Goldblum show.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. It was interesting. Like that got me hyped week to week. Like, oh my god, what am I going to learn with Jeff this week?
I watched the sneaker episode, never revisited.
Adidas.
I've yet to watch it.
See,
Jeff Goldblum though, give it a chance.
Yeah,
I will eventually, but I don't like the week to week. Sometimes I do, and it's those hour-long shows. It's hour-long shows.
I think that's why Doom Patrol worked with me, because it was an hour-long show, and I got that time to talk with people week to week. That's why Titans.
I retract my statement. I might have, if I was a couple episodes behind you, and you said keep giving it a chance, I probably would continue doing the week to week.
See, but you
now that I'm getting past 5 episodes.
Yeah,
I'm able to get past it because there's 10 more episodes, and I know it gets better.
And you also like the previous 4. That's what you also got to think about when it comes to that.
But like on Hulu, the show Devs was weekly, and that show was insane. From the director of Ex Machina and Annihilation.
Yep.
3 episodes, something happens, and it kept me hooked. But it was also an hour long, sometimes over an hour long. But that kept me hooked. But if it's a half hour long, if you're doing weekly, I'll probably lose interest.
Fair enough.
And if you're going to do weekly, you got to make sure that show, every episode is everything.
See,
you can't have one of those throwaway episodes. You can't have an okay episode. You can't have a bad episode. You have to make sure every episode's good. Otherwise, you're going to lose someone after one episode because of everything that's coming out on every other streaming service. Just make sure every episode is on point.
See, and that's kind of why I like the DC Universe shows, and I can't even call Doom Patrol DC Universe show because now that's an HBO Max show. Apparently season 2 is going to drop simultaneously on DC Universe. Whatever, it's a weird situation with that show. But like Titans, Nick has watched episode of Titans with me, or quite a few. The Harley Quinn
I was
show.
going to say the majority of it.
But those shows, and Nick can attest to it, they do a very good job of trying to leave each episode off on a cliffhanger that makes you want to come back.
I'm not talking about cliffhanger though. I'm talking about every aspect of the show.
I'm saying it's still a very good show, but then to cap it off, they'll always leave you with this what the fuck moment.
I'm sorry, episode 5 of Doom Patrol season 1 is absolute dog shit. It looks like horse shit. It smells like dog shit. It is dog shit.
Must be dog shit.
A lot for me to continue the show.
Wow. What goes on in that episode?
Go ahead, Connor. It's a year old.
There's 2 giant clowns, and they're trying to hunt after this kid who
Galactus.
After every year of like each birthday, more script is written on him. And this like secret society ran by these 2 giant clowns.
Joker.
Snow globe.
I gotta know what these look
are
like.
going to read him, and then a giant
clown posse.
god called the Creator will appear and destroy the universe.
I remember.
Absolute shit.
Like Tyler, the Creator?
And it almost ruined the show for me, but Matt has said that the show gets better.
George
in the episode, so it almost did it for me. But
those Juggalo clowns over there. I just saw a picture.
And I was like, "Wow, this is a bad episode." After 8 or 10 episodes, I realized it was 15. and I'm kind of still on the fence about it, but I'm going to keep giving it a chance.
See, it's the characters that keep me coming back for Doom Patrol personally, and just because Robot Man is awesome, Cyborg, I'm almost sitting here, I'm like, all right, this kid's pretty good at Cyborg. Please put him over on Titans because that's where he belongs in my eyes. But the chick from Orange is the New Black who plays Jane.
Good.
She's like her character alone. I'm just sucked into the screen watching.
I like Mr. Nobody, and I wish there was more of him.
Yeah, Mr. Nobody, played by Alan Tudyk, fantastic. It's just a show that keeps getting weirder and weirder, and that's kind of why I get sucked in, and why I was like, yeah, this is a show for you and Taylor, because it's just the weird side of comics that nobody really delves into.
That's Grant Morrison. I've actually never read the Doom Patrol comics. It's something that's been on the list forever. So maybe the show would be a.
You can see Brendan Fraser's butt.
Hell yeah!
Say no more.
I'm in.
As he's screwing the nanny.
What are you doing this Sunday? Whatever that. What's that video you
Hell
always
yeah!
post? We should just open every. We should open every episode of Real Talk with that
They're
video.
from Machete too.
Word. We should open every episode with that.
All right. But the last piece of news we have right now is Indy's coming back, and he's coming back with James Mangold. He went on, I can't remember if it was an interview or Twitter, and confirmed it. And he's talking about what Indiana Jones means to him, and all that. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Seems very upset.
I think he's wondering why we're talking about Brendan Fraser's ass.
Oh,
Because why not?
that's the show.
If it was Ray Romano's,
Oh God,
we would have a whole segment about it.
Woo.
don't give me the vapors here.
I heard.
I can't hear him.
Oh my God, I can't hear it.
Nick forgot the audio.
It's even scarier without.
No,
the
I
audio.
clicked it. Hold on, let me look.
We should open that every episode with "What are you doing this Sunday?" and then the Real Talk intro.
Indy gets some edge and reflective. Yes, and that's what I'm excited about, because James Mangold went on to talk about he wants to have Indy have a little bit more heart and have this reflective nature because he is older. So
Old man Indy.
He's gonna fight his younger clone.
Right.
what's his best line in Doom Patrol?
Fuck! Yeah, that is.
Oh yeah,
line in Doom Patrol.
See,
every episode. What the?
did I get it right this time?
Let's find out.
No.
No,
Can't hear him.
can't hear him.
Oh my God,
That's
Ryan
really
Papa
weird.
Ball.
You might just have to
Whatever.
unplug your headphones and just do it that way. Just blast it to us.
All right. I've got to figure out where my
This is the most
audio
off
thing
the rails
fell to.
episode.
Hold on, I'm working on it.
How many different ways can Brendan Fraser say "what the fuck"?
Enough. Not
15
enough.
for now, apparently.
No, no, Chris. He probably says it like 3 to 4 times an episode.
Jesus.
All right,
That's
here
probably why
we
he
go,
signed
boys.
on.
Reshare the screen, Nick.
I'm working on it. I hope Allie's watching because this is her favorite thing in the world. All right, we're back, bitches.
Please work.
What are you doing this Sunday?
There we go. That's better.
That's good.
Plan. Is that a Ford plan? What the fuck?
But
Do we
no,
have a soundboard?
I can't wait for that episode.
I wish I could afford the soundboard that I want. But because I have been looking into it. Award worthy. Yes,
What are you doing Sunday?
but no. Indy 5.
Who are they?
Excited.
Movie Reels podcast. Hell yeah.
Yes. But Indy 5, I'm excited. James Mangold is arguably one of the best directors working right now. Probably one of the top 3 to 5, honestly. Are you guys excited that he's going to give Indy this reflective type nature, considering where he should be in life?
Sure, I mean, he's going to be old as shit. So you got to find some angle that's not going to be relying on him whipping stuff and jumping around and running, because I don't know if you can capture Harrison Ford doing that on camera anymore. So I feel like you got to find a more personal story. We know James Mangold can do that. So I'm still skeptical that this movie will exist.
Yeah.
but this is a step in the right direction, I guess. I mean, how do you guys feel about it not being Spielberg?
See, I'm okay with it because he got to approach who he wanted to take over for him, and he's still an executive producer, and he still had to hand him up the story he's supposed to be. So with that in mind, I'm all for it. Yeah,
I have such a
we need to pimp ourselves some more. Yes, and we're gonna try to get Taylor as our social media manager because he's the best one at pimping us all out.
Oh, it's
Word.
news to me. Do we get those sponsorships, electric razors yet, or what?
No,
No, but we are working on G Fuel. If you
Buy
buy
G Fuel.
G Fuel, you'll be wired as shit.
Buy
No.
G Fuel.
we did actually reach out to Manscaped. That is not a lie. They went on Twitter and was like, "What content creators can we help support and shed some light on?" So
I got a bush of biblical proportions. I need help.
G Fuel, the fuel of gamers.
Indiana Jones.
I'm a hairy gamer.
Indiana Jones. Oh my.
I have such a problem with the idea of Harrison Ford coming back to be Indiana Jones full time again. And this is coming from someone that idolizes Harrison Ford and loves the 4 films that we got. I love all 4 of them.
We got 3 films.
No,
All
I like
4 films that we got. I love them all.
I love Aliens. I like that movie.
They're not aliens though. They're interdimensional beings.
Good. And I love them.
And they're turning the freaking frogs gay.
But I don't like the idea of Harrison Ford coming back and trying to do like he was already pushing it in Crystal Skull, and that was 2008. Like we need to slow down, we need to cool it. And honestly, I've been saying this for months, it feels like years. We need to recast this role. But you can do it with a twist to still have Harrison Ford as the character. And I've pitched this on other things that I've done.
You're
And
talking about the young Indiana Jones episode approach where he's sitting there playing a sax and then you add the younger Indy.
he's not playing a saxophone.
I know, I'm talking about the fact that he's telling a story and he's
Yes.
I got that young Indiana Jones. I own the entire series.
Said who the hell cared about young Indiana Jones? No one.
3 seasons. Shut the hell up.
And no one gives a shit about the 3 seasons. But look, I'm saying this is how you get people to care about Indiana Jones again. Because really, Lucasfilm doesn't care about Indiana Jones, so why should we? Like they
To
need.
be honest, I don't give a shit about this movie.
And that's what I'm saying. You got to make people care. And Harrison Ford doing with his cane whipping Nazis isn't going to work again. At least with this iteration of it.
Old film.
And I don't want old man Indy. I don't want that. And that's been the meme that we're doing. I don't want that.
One reason I'm okay with old man Indy. You want to know why?
He's gonna be old whether you like it or not.
The LaBeoufissance is why I'm okay with it.
He's not going to be in this.
He's not going to be.
There's
in this.
no way in hell Shia LaBeouf does this movie.
Here's my thing. His renaissance that he has going on right now. He's slowly working his way back into the favor of Hollywood. Why not do a nice little continue this rebrand on his image and revisit a role and do it in a way that's not written like total fucking garbage.
Watching movies is what sent him into, drove him out. He's never going to do a major Hollywood blockbuster ever again.
He literally said on Hot Ones.
Movies. He's never going to do an Indiana Jones. He's never going to do a Transformers. He's done with that. He's never going to do it.
Please kill me, George. if this is the way we get indie, like the indie that I'm asking for, then I'll do it. I'll happily bite the bullet.
For the sake of the office,
youngling?
I hope he's never.
I will be a youngling. Yes. Look, but Shia LaBeouf was on, when he was on Hot Ones. He said that somebody had saw the fedora that he got from set, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Shia, this is cool." And he's like, "Yeah, you want it? I don't." Yeah, take it. Because he doesn't care. Shia LaBeouf doesn't care, and why would he go back to a big Hollywood blockbuster? Does he want to go to rehab again? We saw what happened in Honey Boy. Like, that it slowly drove him nuts, and he was 12. Imagine being able to do all the craziness that we saw post Transformers. So him coming back is not going to happen.
The only logical
I'm not on the Chris Pratt.
Take over Indiana Jones.
Bradley
I-
Cooper.
I don't think Indiana Jones has to exist past Harrison Ford. If you want to do more adventurous sort of serial homage, treasure hunter movies, just do a new.
I want him
franchise.
to go on a good Indiana Jones film.
And he did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. He even has gone on record saying he doesn't care for Crystal Skull. This is about giving.
But he still agreed to do it, and he was proud that he did it.
Do you know the whole backstory behind this film, Chris? That apparently the only way they could agree to get him to do Force Awakens is that if they did an Indy 5.
Yeah, and we love hearing about how much Harrison Ford cares about Han Solo. Spoiler alert, he doesn't.
Yep.
So like the only thing that he gives a shit more about Indy than Han Solo, and that's a fact. And like Indiana Jones, and I want to think that Harrison Ford cares about the
now a director. He's not going to be in front of the camera much.
that was my wishful thinking. I'm the king of wishful thinking. But my God, I mean, I'm cool with Chris Pratt too. But if Harrison Ford still wants to be this character, and he wants the character to move forward post him, it's the best way to do it.
Live and die with Harrison Ford. That's just how it is.
Then this movie's not going to happen if he crashes another plane. Because my man crashes planes every other day.
He sure does.
Chris went there. Oh my!
He crashes planes every other day, dude.
He loves doing that.
I wasn't gonna go there. I was hoping somebody
Truly a passion.
Like
look, it's all irrelevant because Tom Holland's Uncharted is going to knock this thing out of relevance when that movie comes out. That'll be the premier treasure hunter.
You know, Uncharted as of right now is still supposed to
You're
come
gonna
out.
have Mark Wahlberg saying, "Come on, Nathan, say hello to your mother for me."
Oh God!
That's right. I forgot he was added to that dumpster fire.
No, it's not a dumpster fire. This movie's gonna be fucking amazing.
it's going to be the next Indiana Jones.
Oh
It
God!
really is.
It's coming out against Batman right now. Are you really think it's going to be
Don't move
anywhere
it.
near successful at all?
Who's dragging Harrison Ford?
You.
How am I dragging Harrison Ford?
You
How am
said
I
it-
dragging Harrison Ford?
said if this movie won't get made if he crashes another plane, he crashes planes.
I say Harrison
He's
Ford.
according to you guys, there's only going to be a Indiana Jones movie with Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
guys, can I?
Taylor even said this movie's not going to happen
It's
because at this point it's not.
Yeah,
he
I'm
will make this
skeptical.
film happen with his last dying breath.
Hey guys, I say Harrison Ford opts to make Hollywood Homicide Part 2 instead of Indiana.
Damn, he called you a weasel, Chris.
That's a. I was going to say never mind. I'm
Hollywood
not going to say it.
Homicide 2.
I think Nick is frozen. Oh no, yeah, Nick's in and out. There we go. He's back.
It's filtering in and out. It's been doing it. I'm just living with it.
See a Hollywood Homicide.
All right. Guys, thank you for the discussion tonight.
No Hollywood Homicide sequel.
No,
That just shut the whole show down.
we're gonna have a few laughs as a crew real quick when we go visit the Siegfried Love classics of Priceline Bling and the Deuce.
Oh, Shit Pope? We're
Hollywood
going to watch Shit Pope after this?
You're gonna watch Shit Pope, Chris.
We're going to watch
Shit,
Hollywood
we're gonna watch.
Homicide?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a good one.
Stay extraordinary.
Be safe, please.
Oh, Shit Pope, here we come.